Hey, what's up, Exit the Matrix? Bob here. Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. Just a really quick morning talk I'm doing today. I still got a couple videos. I got one I got to upload when I get home today, a longer video. I think I might start shortening down some of these because it seems like whenever the videos are over 20 minutes, like YouTube is struggling with uploads anymore. When they're under 20 minutes, it's like I can get it uploaded in 10 minutes and I can, it's good to go. So I don't know what's going on there, but the reason I'm doing kind of a late video this morning, I'm almost to work already. It's because I was watching, and I got to be super vague on all this because it's highly censored. But let's just say an F plus an F event that was set up by FEMA. Literally a drill that was turned into a live action, role-playing situation, a LARP. And people getting sued over it. And for those of you that are intelligent and that deal in this realm, you actually are probably guessing what I'm talking about, or at least one of the possible situations, right? And there's a lot of them. But there's this guy involved in this lawsuit over this, and he's exposing the whole thing that it was an F plus an F. And it's so blatant. The evidence is so concrete. It's like they're just... they're rolling out like actors and having special makeup done to try to get people to fit profiles because at all costs, they cannot allow this to be shown that it is just it was a play. And I started realizing, I'm like, my God, everything in this realm is a freaking play. It's all fake. Obviously, folks, we're in the Matrix, right? This realm is an illusion. Even for those that have NDEs, they all say that Earth is a simulation. It's like a sort of video game. For those of you that dabble into video game theory and such, it's a simulated video game, that tricks our senses into believing, through electrical impulses and such, that this is a real world, but it's not. It's just an illusion. But it's always been one. I don't care if you were living back in, Roman times, it was still the Matrix. It's just back then people were very deep. Well, in a way though, perhaps they knew even then. Plato, right? Plato's cave. If you read the allegory of Plato's cave, he was exposing this as the Matrix, that it is too even then, that it's an illusion, that I don't know, folks. It's so hard to put this into words when you really start looking at this realm and just realizing that it's all phony. It's all a big freaking playwright. And we're just actors in the play. Sometimes we're the bystander. Sometimes we're the actor. Sometimes we're the victim. Sometimes we're the perpetrator. Sometimes we're the director. But it's just a big grand game, folks. The way that these courts now, man, they're not even real. This guy, and you gotta understand, they're trying to sue this guy for over $1 million, and he's provided mountains of evidence proving that not only is the case against him false, because it's all based on an F plus an F that was all made up, and it was all perpetrated by FEMA. It was all a fucking LARP. It was an event. Before the event happened, 2 years before that, they were hiring actors for it. They took a oh, I'm sorry, folks. It's unbelievable. They took a building that was out of commission, and they set it up for this whole play that they set up. And they got actors, and of course there's always an agenda behind it, right? And I'm not even going to say what the agenda is because, like I said, a very touchy subject. I'm not going to get involved with all this directly, but it's a clown show, folks. I mean, these judges aren't even real. I mean, they're fake, dude. I see what the criminals have done is they've replaced any place that there could be a protective, anywhere that there could be somebody that would enforce our constitutional rights, that would be there for protections to, as a backstop, for some of these types of things not being allowed. They're being allowed because these judges are all part of the game, dude. They're all like bought and paid. They're all like, see, here's the thing. A lot of these judges, folks, they're placed there by politicians. Well, the politicians are criminals. They're corrupt. And they're they're putting these judges in that are corrupt, and they're puppets. They're not even real judges. Or at least, yeah, they might have went to law school and everything, but they're hired assets, if that makes sense. They're placed assets. Oh, sure, regular cases every day, they play their part. Like, oh, I'm Judge Nathaniel, and, I'm a great judge, and I'm presiding over this court, and blah, blah, blah. But when the call comes in, like, look, hey, you gotta deal with this situation that's coming through your court. They are like lockstep, dude. Even though they know they're liars, they'll dismiss evidence. They'll do everything possible to, like, to literally destroy justice. And then here comes in the actors, the media, and then they'll back up that side of the story that's being pushed by the official narrative, right? It's all fake, folks. This thing that I've been looking into, this guy has provided mountains of evidence, even proving that they're actors. Proving it with documentation and everything. Proof upon proof. And he's got a whole team of lawyers. And so what the judge does, every time they bring him evidence that literally makes their case like stone cold, he just dismisses the evidence. He doesn't allow it into court. See, that's what they're doing, folks. It's all... For those of you that thought maybe, like, the courts would protect us, would uphold justice, folks, the judges are all just actors, too. It's all just a grand scheme. The corruption is so deep in the United States right now that it's unbelievable. We know it is. Look at what's going on in UK. Look how corrupt some dude got 20 months, man. 20 months in prison. I don't mean to laugh. It's fucked up. But it's unbelievable how fake all this is. 20 months for posting some on Twitter, or I don't know what it was, on Twitter, Facebook, about a genuine concern going on in his nation. And this judge, he wearing a motherfucking wig with barrettes in it, dude. Like, what the fuck? Seriously, folks. They're just making a mockery of us. It's a humiliation ritual. They know that we know that it's all fake. But the problem is when 70% of your population or more, it's probably closer to 90, are just total worthless NPCs, just dumb sheep that will never wake up. They can do whatever they want. See, it's just like, it's like a soap opera. They just keep on, it just keeps going on and on. It reminds me back, I dated this girl in high school, and I don't know why, it was kind of torture, but you know how it is. You do what you do to, when you're young and, and you're in love with a girl, and there's benefits and all that to, you just put up with shit. But every day after school, I'd pick her up and we'd go to her house, and the first thing she always wanted to do is watch this show, Days of Our Lives. It was a soap opera. I'm sure all of you have heard of it. It is a stupid ass show. I hated it, but I'd just spend time with her and to be around her and everything. I put up with it. And there's the bad guy. What was his name? Romano or Rom? Rome. I can't even remember. Anyways, there was a bad guy in the show, and it's like, I mean, this soap opera was, even back then in the 90s, had been on for like freaking 10 years or something on TV, and the bad guy on the show, it's like he'd been a bad guy for 10 years of the show. It's like, dude never gets in trouble. I mean, he always gets out of, he's supposedly in trouble, but then he always has people paid off. He gets out. He's got all these hired thugs. He owns like, in the town, he owns like the police, and he's paid them off, and judges and lawyers. It's just, it is just a soap opera, folks, right? But it was so fake and so stupid. I mean, you always thought like in real life, right? This guy he'd be in prison. I mean, you can't get away with this shit forever, right? But that's what that's what we're witnessing, folks. I mean, these judges and stuff it's a joke, dude. Like, it's so fake. It's so, they're so, what they're doing is so legal and unconstitutional or against natural law, human rights. And it's so blatant, but they just do whatever they want. And the reason is because the public is so stupid and so ignorant and lazy that they're not there to like deal with these situations. They're not there calling for these people to be tarred and feathered like they should be. These people should be run out of our society. These people they're not even good enough to be running a McDonald's. I mean, these people are trash, the lowest of the low. They're scum. Okay, they're criminals, and we just keep allowing this to go on. I mean, it's just like that dude off Days of Our Lives. I mean, I'm sure Days of Our Lives is probably even still on now, and that same motherfucker is probably the bad guy in the show still. I mean, it could be 30 years later, and the same dude is still there, right? I mean, but then you look at your local, even if you live in a small town, folks. You ever notice how there's a couple power families in the town? And they always got positions in the city council. Their uncle's the main, court judge, county judge or whatever, or town judge. They always got a family member that's a sheriff. You ever notice that? All the time. I mean, they own half the businesses in the town. I mean, and then everybody knows that like their kids are like little criminals, that they've been born up spoiled, and they get away with 5 DUIs and shit, never actually lose their license or anything, and they're always protected. If they end up really injuring or dismissing somebody, maybe they're drinking and driving, that their families are the judges, their families are the sheriffs. I mean, and they always get out of it, right? I mean, that's on a small scale, folks. I mean, and the city council always gets people to vote for like some grand project, like we're going to redo the downtown area, and we're going to take out the parking and make it a walking downtown, and, and all this like BS, like sustainable development crap. And they get the stupid people that vote for everything to vote for it. And then what they do, folks, is, the city council people that are all connected to these power families, right? Well, guess what? Oh, they got more family members that run construction businesses in town too, right? And guess who gets the bids on those newly voted for tax increase projects? Oh, the family member that's running the local construction outfit. And of course, it's like a multi-million-dollar project, and it always goes way over budget, and they have to do extensions, and they got to keep doing new tax increases to keep the project going because they're run out of money, right? Yeah. See, it's called money laundering, folks. Have you ever seen these road projects that never get completed? So near us, there's a large town out here, and you probably heard of it. It's a very occultic town called Asheville, North Carolina, right? It's interesting. All the churches all have Mason symbols on them and all kind. I'll do a breakdown someday for you folks. I've studied these buildings because they're beautiful old churches, man. But man, what a miss! I mean, Asheville is an occultic town, folks. Like, wow. I mean, just straight up in your face. I mean, not even hidden. It's just they don't care. But there's this big road project south of Asheville, this highway, and we've only lived out here for about 6 years, but it's been an ongoing project forever. And there's people out here that said, yeah, they've been working on it for like 20 years. It's never going to get done, folks, because it's one of those projects that they launder money through. See, that's how it works. They don't actually complete. I mean, if you look at places like China, a road like that, they'd have done in less than a month. But here, 30 fucking years, they're working on the same road. It's all scam, folks. Everything we think is real is fake in this realm. And there's a bunch of, and we're run by criminals. Like, we allow see, everybody thinks of it as just like, oh, the federal government's corrupt. No, your state, your local, your county are corrupt. You always have psychopaths. And you always have these families that, control everything. And they become so corrupt because they control all aspects of your local community. Oh, wait, I forgot one too. Wait, my bad. Not just judges, they're sheriffs, the construction outfits, oh my God, how did I overlook one of the biggest ones? Oh, they always have family members that are pastors in the local churches too. How could I forget? And then I started, some of the local power families. That's something else I also noted. See, they're all connected behind the scenes. See, we don't see that on the above board. We say, oh, well, yeah, their family members are all, they're powerful. They run the Corps. They're they're the sheriff. They're the pastors. They're this, they're that. They own this construction company, that one. But what you don't see is that these people are all connected behind the scenes. They're all in some secret society. And there's other ones besides just Masons, folks. That's just the easiest one to beat up on, right? But then you start realizing, like, wow, when you start connecting all these dots, it isn't just that they're power families. It's that they're connected power families and that they are all connected through secret societies and that they only favor their families. And you see this trickle down to even just the minor stuff like kids' sports and stuff, right? You ever wonder why your kid's a super athlete, but yet he never gets to start on the local high school team? But all these kids that are like trash, that are lazy, that don't work hard, that they all get special privilege, right? And you always wonder why they get to play all the time, And then if your kid tries to fight for the point, like, hey, I'm better than these guys, why am I not playing? Then they'll get benched even more, because how dare you question these, these coaches, right? Well, then you find out the coach is one of them too. Yeah. You start finding out all these people are all connected. They're all connected in some way behind the scenes that you don't see until you dig into it. And then you realize, wow, it all makes sense. And we live in a fake-ass world, people, with fake-ass, criminals running the institution here. And those that do this, they've figured out how to play the game. But see, they don't play it from a positive energy perspective. They play it from a negative energy perspective. These people are like vampires. And they're diabolical. And when they start getting exposed, see, the reason why they fight back so hard, folks, is because it doesn't just expose that one person or that one, it exposes the whole network. So it's at all costs, things are never allowed to get fixed. What do? You take it to court, right? But then the judge is one of theirs. Your lawyer that you think is supposed to be, working with you is one of them. And he's setting you up. He's trying to get you to take plea deals and shit. And it's because he's doing anything he can on his end to ensure that shit don't get exposed. And he'll, to your face, he act like he got your back. And, yeah, we're going to win this and blah, blah, blah. See, folks, you got to realize it's all a scam, dude. These people realize, how to manipulate the game, but they're evil. And look, we all come from the same place. So I know a lot of people that do have NDEs, they say that we choose to come play parts. Sometimes we're the bad guys, sometimes we're the good guys. Sometimes we're just a bystander, a spectator, right? And some of us just come to this realm and we just want to enjoy physical reality without getting caught up in the politics. Those people, right? Just like, la, 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 they go through life and they're just, everything around them's chaos, but, they're just living their best life. And hey, that's cool, man. That's the next life I want. I don't want to know any of this shit, okay? Next time I come back here, I don't want to know any of this. I want to be Cypher, man. And I know that sounds bad for saying this, but holy shit, man, can I just come in and do a vacation trip to Earth? You know, that's what some people on NDEs call it. It's like you've learned so many like um, lessons and you've gone through so many hard times. Some people just come to Earth and they want to incarnate and have an easy kind of stress-free life, like they call it a vacation trip, where you just, maybe you're born into a pretty wealthy family and you end up getting set up with a well-paying job and you just, you know, you have a house on the freaking beach or on a lake and you're able just to mostly enjoy life. You do your work from home maybe, and you fish a lot and you boat a lot, and you don't get caught up in the local politics, and you're not in the system, you know, and you're not fighting the man, and you're not trying to expose this stuff. You just let life pass you by and you just enjoy it, right? And sometimes, folks, that's what I long for, I gotta admit. But at the same time, I wasn't sent here to do that, okay? I'm following the path I was meant to do. And maybe that's why we can't get everybody in on this to wake up, because some people are just here for a nice, easy trip. They don't want to expose things going on here. We all come here for different reasons, folks. And I guess the more and more I start to realize all this, it just, for this game to be exciting, hard, there's got to be bad guys. And there's got to be criminal organizations. It's just the unfortunate thing is that people don't realize that the light can win too, though. That's part of the test, is that enough people can push this evil back. But for some reason, it's like everything, it's like the darkness is pushing so hard right now. But they are exposing themselves. So anyways, folks, I know I just kind of talked on today. It wasn't a really hardcore subject, pinpointed subject, but I don't know. I wonder how many of you are feeling these things and struggling with these thoughts and stuff, but and I don't know. Don't hate me for what I said about maybe just wanting to come back as a vacation trip here next time, you know, as more of an NPC type mentality. I know that sounds bad. I'm not saying I'm going to turn into an NPC right now. It's once you're awake, you're awake. I mean, I woke up in middle school, high school at the time, and ever since then I've been on this path. So it was meant to be. I have no way to ever go back to sleep. I mean, I can't be Cypher. I can't go back into sleep in this realm. It just would have been nice to, like, you know, it's just the way things are. Sometimes when you see these people that just float through life, no problems, and they just are totally oblivious to everything going on, and they just live their best life, and then they exit out when it's their time. And yep, they never knew any better, knew any worse, right? Sometimes there's something nice about that, but anyways, I know you guys are like me. You guys are fighting the good fight, and that's why we're here, right? I mean, if the stuff I talk about interests you, and you know, even if you don't agree with all my stuff, maybe you agree with some of it. I mean, you're at least on a path of trying to figure things out, and you've already woken up to a certain degree, at least. And yeah, you can't really go back to sleep once you know. It's just your eyes are, your mind is open and you see it all for what it is. But man, it's unbelievable how corrupt everything is. I mean, it's just like, damn. I mean, we always thought that the courts would have our back, right? I mean, they follow the law. No, man, they're just actors too. They're all paid assets, and just, yeah, they do their job until something comes up where they get to call in that they need to actually handle something in a certain way, and then they handle it that way. So anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and roll. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you later.